Have you ever asked yourself, what would happen if you heard a sound coming from above? Not from the street, not from a house, not from anything normal. A massive sound, a horn, a metallic scream with no source. If that happened to you, would you really be able to continue life like nothing happened? What I'm about to say isn't a fictional story. This is a real phenomenon, documented in different countries around the world, and no one has ever been able to explain it fully. From 2011 until very recently, thousands of people stepped outside and recorded strange sounds coming from the sky. Canada, the United States, Russia, Sweden, Germany, Ukraine, Australia. No warning, no pattern. Suddenly, the sky fills with the sound of a horn or metal scraping against metal. Sometimes for a minute, sometimes for half an hour. And then it disappears, instantly, as if nothing ever happened.
Whoa, do you hear that noise? Sounds like jumping noises. Damn. Ooh, is it like that? Man, looks like it has to be super hot.
What is that? Sound. What?
It's coming from the sky.
You sure that?
Yeah.
Sounds like a trumpet bell.
What is that?
Police departments in most of these places admitted they had no explanation, and the people who heard the sounds all described the same thing. The ground felt like it was shaking without actually shaking. It was like something was calling, but there were no words, no source, no direction, no reason. And from here, the theories began, and it's important to say that every single one of them is just a theory. There's not a single confirmed answer. Some say it's deep seismic activity, rocks shifting beneath the earth, causing sound waves. Others say it's tectonic plates moving under the oceans, creating massive sound that travels up into the atmosphere. Another theory claims that the sound comes from winds in the upper layers of the atmosphere, producing a frequency we don't normally hear. But others weren't convinced. They said these explanations are not enough. Some suggested the sounds might be industrial noise traveling long distances, trains or factories. But here's the unanswered question. How can the exact same sound be heard in places that don't have trains or factories or anything similar? And then there's another theory, one that takes things in a completely different direction. Some people believe these sounds are linked to the end of the world, a warning, a sign. Not scientific, but it exists, and a lot of people believe it. But the real horror isn't the sound itself. The real horror is that no one, not one person, has given a definite explanation. Where is the source? Why does it appear suddenly and vanish just as suddenly? Why in places that have no connection to each other? Why do some people hear it and others don't. Before we go any further, ask yourself one simple question. If that sound came from the sky, why hasn't anyone in the world been able to say, yes, this is exactly what causes it? Let's go back to the first well-known recording. Canada, winter 2011, 7 in the morning. People in a small town rushed outside in panic, not because of an earthquake, not because of an explosion, but because the sky was screaming. Imagine you're standing on the street. The air is still, everything is quiet, and suddenly you hear a long stretched scream, like a giant iron door being dragged across the surface of the world. People looked up, but nothing was moving. No planes, no clouds, no lightning. The sky was silent, yet the sound kept going. Months later, the same sound in Ukraine, then Sweden, then the United States. And in every recording, people reacted the same way. They look up and they don't move. Because when a sound comes from the sky, there's nowhere to run. The question that broke the minds of scientists was, why does the sound appear around the world with no pattern? Atmospheric pressure? Wind? Seismic activity? If that's the case, why didn't people in other cities with the exact same conditions hear anything? And why does the fear in the voices of witnesses sound identical no matter the country? The same terror, the same trembling, as if every single one of them felt that something was calling without speaking. In the United States, 2015, a mother was standing at her front door with her child. The recording exists. She says, "The sound was coming from the middle of the sky, not the ground, not any direction." And she breaks down crying at the end of the video. In Russia, a man filmed from his balcony. The moment the sound began, every dog in the area went silent at the same time. In Germany, the sound happened 3 times in 1 week, and on each occasion, a flock of birds took off instantly. And no one can fake the instinctive reaction of animals. The scariest theory isn't about monsters or ghosts. It's the one that says, the sound is real, we're just not capable of understanding it yet. Scientists confirm there are infrasound frequencies that we don't hear, but the human body detects them. Those frequencies cause sudden anxiety, a sense of danger, shaking, fear without explanation. And that's more than enough to make any human feel like something is calling them, even if there are no words. This phenomenon has been heard in at least 7 different countries, and every single time it came without warning and vanished without a trace. No device, no program, no technology on Earth can predict it, which means no one in the world knows when or where it will be heard again. If that sound had been heard once in one place, you could call it a coincidence. If it happened only one time, you could say it was a mistake. If someone recorded it, you could say it was edited. But when the exact same sound is heard in different countries by people who don't know each other, in different years, and with the same fear trembling in their voices, that's when the real question is no longer, what is the sound? The real question becomes, why did it reach us? And what's going to happen the next time it returns?